Naked EasyJet pilot incident. EasyJet pilot suspended after late night incident at Cape Verde luxury resort. An EasyJet pilot has been suspended after allegedly being found intoxicated and wandering naked through a luxury hotel in Cape Verde. The incident occurred in the early hours of 5th August at 5-star Melia Dunas Beach Resort and Spa, where the captain had checked in the previous day. The pilot embarked on an extended drinking session at the resort's bar, which continued well into the night. Now let's unravel the full story in today's AI podcast deep dive.
Okay, let's kick off this deep dive. Picture this headline. An EasyJet pilot reportedly found drunk and wandering naked through a luxury resort.
Wow. Yeah, that's quite something.
It really is. It apparently happened in the very early hours, August 5th, at this 5-star place, the Melia Dunas Beach Resort and Spa in Cape Verde.
Cape Verde, okay.
So today we're going to unpack this. We're digging into the source material. Excerpts from pilot's drunken nudity sparks EasyJet suspension.
Right.
We want to figure out what exactly went down, how EasyJet handled it, and maybe more importantly, what this says about, the bigger picture in aviation safety and crew behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Think of this as your shortcut to getting up to speed on a truly, eye-opening situation.
Definitely an unusual one.
So let's get into the incident itself. The source says the EasyJet captain, he'd checked in the day before.
Okay.
And then apparently started what they called an extended drinking session.
Extended, huh? So not just a quick drink.
No, apparently it went on well into the night. Then things took a really startling turn around 2:30 a.m.
2:3 in the morning.
Okay. Witnesses claim they saw the captain, described him as paralytic, really drunk,
Uh-huh.
and he started taking off his clothes. Then reportedly just strolled through the hotel reception.
Naked. Through the main reception?
Apparently so.
Yeah.
And then into the gym and spa areas. Guests were, as you'd imagine, pretty shocked.
I bet they were. Shocked reactions, yeah.
But here's where it gets even more, alarming.
Okay.
Some of those guests, the ones who saw him, they recognized him
Recognize them how?
as their pilot. The guy scheduled to fly them back to London Gatwick later that week.
Oh, wow. Okay, that changes things significantly.
Absolutely. You can just imagine that realization hitting them. Of course, they reported it straight to the airline.
And you'd expect a fast response there. So, EasyJet, they move quickly.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, well, the airline spokesperson said, and this is pre-standard language but important, as soon as we were made aware, the pilot was immediately stood down from duty.
Stood down. Okay, so off the flight schedule.
Exactly. Removed from flying duties immediately, in line with our procedures, pending an investigation. That immediate action is not just policy, it's really a legal and safety necessity.
Makes sense. Public trust is paramount.
Absolutely. Think about the liability, even for off-duty stuff happening abroad.
Right. So what about the flight itself, the one back to Gatwick?
They arranged a replacement pilot. The flight was due out about 36 hours later, August 6th. So operationally, it seems they handled it to avoid disruption.
Good.
And EasyJet's main message, their statement emphasized, the safety of our passengers and crew is EasyJet's highest priority, which is, exactly what you need to hear.
It's the bottom line, isn't it?
It has to be. And there's another interesting detail from the source material.
Oh, yeah.
That route, Gatwick to Cape Verde, it's actually EasyJet's longest route out of England.
Really? How long?
About 2,332 nautical miles. Takes around 6 hours.
Okay, so not just a quick hop across the channel.
No, exactly. It's a significant flight. And that kind of highlights why crew conduct, even during layovers, even when they're technically off duty, is watched so closely.
Right, because the demands are higher on those longer trips.
Yeah.
You need proper rest and focus.
Precisely. The required rest periods, the mental readiness, it's all part of the safety equation, especially for longer routes like that.
So EasyJet acted fast, which is reassuring. But
Okay.
looking at this, is this just a one-off of a really bizarre, isolated incident? Or does it, fit into something bigger?
Well, that's the interesting part. The source actually frames this as the latest in a series of alcohol-related incidents involving airline crew in recent years.
Ah, okay. So not entirely unique then.
Apparently not. It suggests this isn't just some random anomaly, but maybe points to a more persistent challenge the industry deals with.
Are there other examples mentioned?
Yeah, the source gives a few specific ones to kind of illustrate the pattern.
Okay.
Back in 2018, you had a British Airways pilot detained at Gatwick, armed police involved. Cabin crew suspected he was intoxicated before a flight. This was pre-flight, heading to Mauritius.
Wow.
Then the next year, 2019, a Delta pilot arrested in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Again, suspicion of being drunk while prepping for departure.
Right before a flight again. That's concerning.
Very. And then more recently, just last year, 2023, another British Airways case, but this time a flight attendant.
Okay.
Taken into custody, allegedly for doing their duties while over the legal alcohol limit.
So it's pilots, it's cabin crew.
Yeah.
It's happening both pre-flight and, like the EasyJet case, during downtime, but with potential impact.
Exactly. The incidents are varied before flights, during layovers, different roles involved. It suggests the challenge isn't just, one specific thing.
Right.
It might point to broader pressures on crew, or maybe how airlines monitor and support staff even when they're not actively working a flight.
So for you listening, why should this pattern matter beyond just the sort of shocking headlines?
Well, because it really underscores the constant vigilance needed. From the airlines themselves, from regulatory bodies, even from colleagues like cabin crew reporting the BA pilot, for instance. It's all part of maintaining that public trust and upholding those incredibly high safety standards we rely on when we fly. It's a continuous effort.
That makes sense. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up our deep dive into this really quite impactful situation.
Yeah, quite a story.
We've looked at the, shocking incident itself with the EasyJet pilot in Cape Verde.
The details were something else.
The airline's very swift and, frankly, necessary response.
Crucial step, yeah.
And how this whole thing isn't entirely in isolation, but fits into this documented pattern of alcohol-related incidents we've seen across the industry in recent years.
A pattern worth paying attention to.
Definitely.
And maybe a final thought for you to consider as you digest all this.
Go ahead.
What do these recurring incidents, whether they happen off-duty like this one or just before a flight like some of the others, what do they really tell us about the perhaps underlying pressures on airline crews today?
That's a good question.
And maybe what continuous or perhaps evolving efforts are needed from everyone involved to ensure we always uphold the absolute highest safety standards in air travel. Something to think about.
Okay, one more question for you. Should airlines impose stricter alcohol testing for crew even when they are off duty? Don't forget to comment it. Thanks.